Monday night tops. Monday night, Monday night, Monday night tops. Monday night, Monday night, Monday night tops. Monday night tops.
Welcome to Monday Night Tops, the show that proves that you can't just be and you geek off the street. You got to be quick with your answers. Know what I mean? Earn your keep. I'm your co-host, Chad Alexander, here to introduce the man of the hour, the breaker of ankles, the wrecker of ribs, and the punisher of prostates, Trumaine Bradley.
Hey, welcome to Monday Night Tops. Thank you all so very much. Thank you so much, Chad. This is just a bunch of weird, random, funny shit compiled into 1 hour created by you. And I'm just bringing a bunch of funny people along for the ride. So first, I'd like to introduce my co-host. I want you to go ahead and give it up for my man, Chad Alexander.
That's what we do. I don't know. You have to let it play out, right? You have to let people know that they're supposed to applaud. I just want to give them ample time to applaud. I'm trying to accommodate you. How you guys doing, man? How you doing, man, tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing great, bud. Great to be here, man.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm sorry, I got my hands tied up, and I'm doing the all the keys and everything. I'm trying to grow hands, and Monday Night Tops isn't just the tops for shows. It's because it was crazy and it was off the fucking top of your head. All right, cool. So my next guest, I love him. He's actually fantastic. He's been on Just for Laughs, and he was actually on NBC Stand Up for Diversity. I want to go ahead and give it up for my main man, Mark James Heath.
Thank you. Peace. How is everybody?
I'm fantastic. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm cool. I'm coming to you live from this bathroom where I'm hiding from my children, who might pound on the door needing food or water because they're selfish people. So, just be prepared for that.
Hey, you doing the Lord's work over there, brother, because I have no children. Look at these goddamn posters. I bet your kids don't got no posters up. Because why? Because they real individuals. Because you look like you have a real job. You're a real individual.
Because they messy, bro. They'll rip them down. I saw how clean and unwrinkled they were. I'm like, he ain't got no kids. Look how pristine the posters are still.
That's funny. That's because I just bought them. I call these the Trump posters because I put all of my stimulus check into stimulating my wall behind me because I didn't want my wall to look white because I'm here in Texas and I didn't want the state flag in my background. All right, so this is the thing. All right, let's go ahead into the three shot with everybody. Tonight's topic is going to be what movies or shows scarred you as a kid. Mark, what was your criteria for picking your tops?
I basically picked the scariest things that I saw during my childhood that weren't like directly related to racism and systemic violence.
Makes sense.
So, just like fictional things, right? Rather than like the news or something like that.
And what's funny is, I'm glad you brought this up because a lot of people, which kind of makes sense, scarred and scared, because I kind of was fucking it up too. Because a lot of things that scared me also scarred me. Why, Mark? Because we grew up in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. All right,
Dang.
Everything scary scarred us. That shit is scary. I mean, we blacking out. That's why it's too much goddamn black on screen. And my man Chad got the black shirt on. He's a real ally. Chad, what would have your criteria been for choosing your tops when it comes to movies that scarred you?
Well, movies that scarred me. My criteria for one, since being a child of the 80s, would have been the color teal, as that was the most overwhelming color of the time. Everything except for the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, comforting, brings comfort. Everything else, Taco Bell booths, horror.
That's crazy. I'm like, a lot of stuff scarred me, and Taco Bell was definitely one of them. It still scars me to this day. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the first picks. Mark, for your first pick, you chose Nightmare on Elm Street. Can you tell us why?
Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger attacks you in your imagination, which is like the only place where you really feel like you might feel safe. And he was the first real like scary movie villain that I ever like could recognize off top was like a villain. And that sweater just bothered the shit out of me for some reason.
That sweater was how we should have known that Bill Cosby was right around the corner. That's what's so crazy. No one put the connections together, and it's messed up. You know, believe all women. That should have started there. It's like it's a hashtag, and it's fucking Freddy's fault. All right, could you tell us what's the craziest part of Nightmare on Elm Street, in your opinion?
The craziest part of Nightmare on Elm Street is when Johnny Depp is laying in the bed and he falls asleep, and then he gets sucked into the bed. And then like all the blood comes like squirting out of the bed. Dude, to this day, it's scary for me to lay down on the bed. One time I was on an air mattress and that shit started losing air and I peed on myself. Like I was terrified. And I'm trying to get out and you could just roll out of the air mattress, but I'm trying to climb out that bitch because I'm frightened. And that was like 2 weeks ago. So I'm very much still scarred by the whole situation.
You felt it reenacting. You're like, this is not the 80s. I'm not supposed to die first. That's so great. What about you, Chad? What was the craziest part in Nightmare on Elm Street for you?
The part where he starts to like go up the stairs, or where she starts to go up the stairs, and it's like tapioca pudding stairs.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about like her feet keep going through the stairs, and it's all like gooey and sticky and everything else. And like, man, I stepped on the side of staircases for so long after that. Catch me tripping and pudding stairs. There's no way, man.
Chad said you will literally not catch him tripping. All right, Chad. Can you please set us up with Carter's clip?
Sure thing. We got Carter Anderson introducing Nightmare on Elm Street and just pointing out there's no CrossFit in the Nightmare realm.
Carter Anderson, Nightmare on Elm Street. White women really don't give a fuck anymore. It's like they're trying to get caught. They don't even run. So as you can see, that's the white woman there. As you can see, that's the door that she used to get into the building. I don't know why she's not using it to get out. Just so much potential wasted. She probably could have made a great graphic designer or interior decorator. Yeah, she deserves to die at this point. Y'all better get some black friends and learn how to run.
Heard that, otherwise we would have been in the goddamn nightmare realm ourselves. All right, but yeah, if you didn't, it was Carter pretending to be a white woman, and that is why Carter lived until the very end of that clip. Mark, can you tell us though, because you black and you understand how these movies go, you've been black your pretty much your whole life, can you tell us in the 2000s, why did the black people die first in movies before the 2000s go?
Well, it's very simple. Before the thing that changed the rules in horror movies was you had to have a platinum selling album if you wanted to be a black person and survive to the end of the horror movie, right? Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, you know what I'm saying? Brandy, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, had to be platinum selling. Before the 2000s, black people were mostly going gold, so it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough record sales to keep us going in those times, Trumaine.
Oh, that's a great. I mean, that's actually a goddamn great, great show, and actually a great meaning, because I love the whole Nightmare on Elm Street, and I remember when Busta Rhymes smooth kicked. What's his name? What was it? Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Smooth kicked him. That's when I was like, I was done with horror movies after that, because I was like, all right, Michael Myers can get shot in the chest with a double-barreled shotgun, and then the only thing that's going to knock him out is when Busta Rhymes kicks him Kung Fu style through the goddamn door. That makes no sense. What about you, Chad? Actually, I can't even ask you that because I'm not going to set you up, Chad. All right, we're going to go to our next pick, the audience pick. Chad, can you set us up with Laura's clip, please?
Yeah, Laura Ortiz explaining why everything under the sun that resembles a roach is the most terrible thing ever.
Hi. The movie that scarred me the most as a child is The Mummy. I have a huge phobia of roaches because as a child, when I watched the Beatles eating people from the inside out, it absolutely terrified me. And to this day, I cannot stand roaches whatsoever. If you want to find out more about me, check out my social media. I'm on Instagram at Laura Knockout.
All right. And yes, go ahead and please follow Laura. Mark, what was the craziest scene in The Mummy? Go.
In The Mummy, the fact that everybody was white was pretty trippy to me. That there was in ancient Egypt and they was all like British accents. It was one black dude in there in one of the mummies, but he had like gold teeth. I think he was from like East Memphis or some shit. It was weird.
No, I remember. I mean, actually, the craziest thing about The Mummy is how Brendan Fraser went from being like the biggest actor of all time to who the fuck is Brendan Fraser? It's the craziest shit ever. That's the wildest shit for me, Chad. What was the craziest thing in The Mummy to you?
Man, that's it. That's the demise of Brendan Fraser's entire career. Like that entire movie just destroyed a man's livelihood.
No, and it sucks because he was in at least 4 of them, but 2 of them were really good. 2 of them were good. Chad, can you please set up Dave J's clip?
All right, Dave J is back with a little bit of an apology letter to the Matrix, and we're just going to see Dave's hate list continue.
Hey, what's up? It's Dave J, and I'm going to tell you about this scene from The Mummy. All right, so in this scene, we see a guy trying to get away from the mummy's followers, his devotees. They're chanting his name. They're going, Emotep, right? It's very scary. This guy kind of blends in with them, sneaks away, gets in his car. He thinks he's about to get away, and up in the balcony, who appears? The mummy, and his mouth's falling apart, and he's like very scary. And that's pretty much the scene. But what this clip reminded me of was the fact that 3 years after this, they made a prequel to The Mummy, and it was called The Scorpion King, and it starred The Rock. Okay, so remember that, because I would like to retract some of the statements that I made about The Matrix last week on Monday Night Tops. Last week I sent in a clip. This movie sucks. It's not good. It reeks of the 90s. It's aged like a pair of Jinko jeans. The only good thing about the late 90s was professional wrestling, and I wish that Steve Austin had taken the role of Neo in this movie. I'd like to retract my statements and say it should have been The Rock, okay? That is the only thing that could make this movie rewatchable in 2020, because then at least you could look back and go, oh, remember The Rock had hair. Other than that, this film is a piece of garbage. It has no place in this century, and nobody can convince me otherwise, and I will die on this hill. So that's The Mummy.
All right. Thank you, Dave J. Okay, so before we go further, I have one of probably the most important question I'm gonna ask all night for you, Mark. Mark, what is the best The Rock match of all time?
Oh, that actually is a tough one. I mean, for me, the most enjoyable thing I've seen is when The Rock actually went up against Tyrese. That was my favorite, like, Rock match of all time, probably. Was just how perfect that was. The Rock dissed Tyrese, and then Tyrese started crying on Instagram after that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how brilliant The Rock is. You thought he might have lost his edge after he got out the ring, but he's still The Rock. He's still cooking.
Wait. He fought Tyrese, like the singer Tyrese?
Yes, the singer, him and Tyrese Gibson got into it about the whole Hobbs and Shaw spinoff.
Oh yeah, you talking about in real life? Yeah, he got that smoke in real life. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, he didn't want no parts. I'm telling you, that baby boy, he got caught up in that baby boy life. Chad, what's the best Rock match of all time?
Only because it's been going on for like 3 decades. But I gotta say, The Rock versus his own neck. Like, I don't know how many more. I don't know how many more of these you can do, but he's been just fighting the length of his own neck for like at least 30 years, man. It's just gonna be gone in like 5 years' time. Just watch.
That's funny because The Rock, the only thing that scares me more than him is The Rock's neck. All right, cool. So we're gonna go into, actually, let me go ahead and before we go into it, let me check. All right, cool. We're actually a minute behind. It is 16. Central Time, 8:16. My mom said at 8:15 that she can actually watch my show because she normally doesn't watch it. It's a little too graphic for her. She said it's too real, it's too graphic. So I've come up with a segment called 5 Minutes for the Children. Not children, 5 minutes for the children. And I'm not saying my mom's a children, but what I'm saying is for at least 5 minutes, you're going to get complete, clean comedy. So the part is completely clean. So, Mark, I know it's going to be tough, brother, because what we talking about. Okay. But your next pick, you chose Tales from the Hood. Can you tell us why? Clean.
Tales from the Hood. You know what's funny? Tales from the Hood it tackles both quote unquote black on black crime and police brutality in the same movie. Because that is a very divisive issue right now. And in that movie, they're able to, put both of those things together for horror fans of that era. And there's this scene in the movie where a ghost comes back from the dead to haunt these crooked cops, and he just keeps going, Clarence. And that just terrified me for my entire life. I was gonna be a crooked cop until I saw that movie. And then
you just would have been a cop. All right. So what was the craziest part of Tales from the Hood?
Craziest part of Tales from the Hood. It's still the there's the second story is with this little kid who can draw whatever he's afraid of, and then whatever he does to the piece of paper, that actually happens to the person. Yeah. And he crumbles up a piece of paper of his bully, and the bully falls down the stairs. And at the school, they're like, how did the kid break both of his arms and legs falling down the stairs? And this is exactly what the school administrator said. He said, I don't know, I guess the boy just had weak bones. And I can't believe that they let that man work at a public school. That part is still crazy to me to this day.
Yeah, I broke my shoulder and they told me the same thing. I guess that boy has weak bones. I'm in Texas. Okay, so Chad, can you go ahead and set us up with Gabe's clip, please? And this is completely clean. This is edited, all right? Because it's 5 minutes for the children. Chad, go.
It's 5 minutes for the children. So we've got a mix. We've got a mix of Gabe Davis talking about Tales from the Hood with a little bit of a tribute to Bruce Lee.
Davis and I will be discussing Tales from the Hood. This scene takes place in the cemetery. These things in the cemetery, they're there because, quick little background on that. The reason they're at the cemetery is because the black cop was getting visions of the dead politician coming to him, telling him, hey, bring these to my cemetery. Just bring them. Don't worry about why. So he brings them to the cemetery, right? They get to the cemetery, and that's where the scene starts. The evil white cop, one of the evil white cops, I guess this was like the crazy evil one. He decides he's gonna pee on the guy's grave they killed. So he's like, it's a good night to take a piss. Take a piss tonight. So he decides to take a pee on the grave. He's pissing on the grave. And then after he finishes peeing, he has one of his white brethren to come over there and piss on the grave too, which is odd. It's kind of like, hey, bro, put your out in front of me, man. In front of that we killed, bro. It's kind of weird. Anyway. So the second guy does it. Reluctantly, but he still pees on the grave, trying to like psych himself out. Like, oh, this patch of grass is kind of dry. I think that was an ashy joke, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, he pees on the grave on that patch of grass. So while he's peeing, that's when the guy comes back from the dead, reaches up from the grave, grabs this white, pulls him down. As he's pulling him down by the guy's head is banging on the tombstone, which is hilarious. His head is banging on the tombstone as he's pulling him down. He eventually pulls him all the way down into the grave. Then the other two cops pull their guns out, start shooting at the grave. Once again, I don't know what it is with these white cops, but when they do something that they clearly can't beat, they start shooting at him, right? So then they start shooting at this, the grave, shooting at the ground. The black dude still ain't dead, like just as before. At least he's consistent. So they're shooting at the ground, and then eventually the black guy that died, the zombie at this point, comes back up out of the ground, holding the beating heart of the white dude he pulled down into the grave. And then they continue to shoot at him, and obviously the guy's not dying. And that's how this scene ends. That's it. What I took from this scene, man, is, like I said before, the black dude that stood there, because when the black politician was getting killed, the black guy just stood there. He just stood there as this guy was being murdered, and he also stood there while the white people were being murdered. Give it up to this black for consistency, because if you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Thanks a lot for Gabe Davis, man. You guys have been. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. I'm out.
real quick, if I can just go into like maybe a one shot, if I can just explain real quick. Okay, friends, if you've enjoyed the quality programming that Monday Night Tops has brought to you, please donate to our Patreon so we can afford to have more sound clips and sound effects than just that one.
All right, bring us back into that 3. I'm gonna need you to put some goddamn respect on Monday Night Tops with Trumaine Bradley. Don't you play with me? Hey, this is so ignorant. All right, I just want you
trying to help you out rather than just.
I'm sorry. I did use that same, what's it called, Enter the Woo.
Right.
Dragon style. Anyways, Mark, two questions. What did you think of that straw shirt that Gabe had on? And who should make the movie instead of Jaws? Go.
Who should make the movie instead of Jaws?
Yes, like who should, because he had on a straw shirt. It was the same, It looked just like a shirt. If they took that movie and they made Jaws, but they made it with straws, who should direct it?
Seth Rogen should direct a movie made of straws. That just makes sense. That just makes perfect sense. Seth Rogen should make it, even though I didn't see the whole movie where the hot dogs and shit was talking, but I feel like that would be right in that same vein.
That is so funny. All right, well, if y'all couldn't tell by the answer, 5 minutes for the churn is over. So go ahead and put your kids to sleep. And, all right, and as Chad was saying, if you like the show so far, you want to help us keep the electricity on, go ahead and throw up that Patreon page. Go ahead, please give us all your monies, and maybe I can learn how to stop saying it with a French accent. I know that's how you say it because Siri spell it out with the thing on top of the on top of the E or the O, whatever. Anyways, visit us at our Patreon site. There are 3 levels to show your support. You can get details on the page. Anything helps, even if you want to only do a one-off. Help us. That's cool because that'll probably be more than what we have left in our stimulus package. If you donate with cash, whatever, just show some love, share a comment, or just love all of our videos. You're the best. We love you. Give us all your monies with 2 E's. Can you come back into the 3 shot? This is so ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm not. Okay. So for the audience, second pick, Chad, can you set us up with Simone's clip, please?
All right, Simone is going to explain Idle Hands, and I get the feeling as I'm watching this that she probably is terrified by the Thing from Addams Family.
Hi, my name is Simone Leanne. I just wanted to tell you that the movie that really scared the hell out of me as a child was Idle Hands. My dad was in a band, and pretty much ever since I was a child, we'd go to like carnivals and just sort of like music festivals with him. And I remember just walking away as a kid. You know, when you're a kid, you're like yay high. So you can see things that are like waist level for adults. And I just remember all the hands. All the hands.
All right, man. Well, thank you, Simone. Mark, can you tell us what the craziest scene from Idle Hands is? Go.
Craziest scene from Idle Hands is when dude is making out with Jessica Alba in the beginning, like the first part, and she says, "Yeah, you're gonna have to leave because my parents will be offended by a bloody, dirty dude banging their daughter." And it just really helped me to know that like my expectations were way too high. Like I felt like I had to have a clean shirt to make out with Jessica Alba, but I could come in with like blood stains on it and still get at her. So that really blew my mind as a young man at the particular moment.
It was the goddamn 90s. That's why it was the goddamn 90s. Chad, can you go ahead and set us up with Chris's clip, please?
Well, he goes into Idle Hands, and all I know, we were talking about fears. All I know is that there's at least 4 seconds in this video that would have terrified me as a kid.
Hey y'all, my name's Chris Ladd, and I'm going to be breaking down a scene from Idle Hands, one of my very favorite movies. So in this scene, he decides that because his hand is cursed, he can get rid of that just by cutting it off. So then his zombie best friends that he killed point out that the bagel cutter won't even cut a fucking bagel. Then Nick suggests an electric carver. Look at me, I'm Leatherface! So then they have the severed head of his friend bite down on his hand so he can cut it off with a freaking meat cleaver.
Hey, look, if y'all haven't seen Idle Hands, this is actually really fucking funny. Because in the movie, we got a runaway hand that's possessed by the devil. And on Monday Night Talks, we got the clips that are possessed by the devil too. I'm telling you, we're doing this shit on purpose. That's what y'all didn't know. So please give some money to that Patreon. Thank you, though, Chris. I love you. Chris,
So we can afford an exorcism for the views.
It was so funny is Mark did just for laughs. He's like, God damn. Hey, this is funny. I'm telling you, that's what's so great being raised in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. We so damn scarred. We can show shit to you anyway, and people watching it, they'll be like, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right.
I can see why you have your trauma.
Nah, the funniest shit that y'all don't know is my man that's doing in the background, David. I asked him to do all that shit. I'm so sorry. So if y'all mad, I want y'all to look up in your Bibles, open your Bibles to Austin 3:16, which means not just if you don't know what it means, look it up. I don't give a fuck. All right, so Mark, if you had to cut off your friend's hand, what type of knife would you use? And what rap group would you have a picture of on the handle? Go.
Okay. If I had to cut off my friend's hand, I'm gonna go with like an old school, like Ginsu, really sharp knife. And back in the day, this is a little old song. I think it was like Naughty by Nature had a song called "Throw Your Hands Up If You Wanna Be Down." It was either them or Coolio. So I was trying to have both of them on there, you know. Just a general throw your hands in the air like you don't care sort of an energy that I would want to have in the room.
The sad thing is, I know that song, bro. I heard that song since Coolio had hair, bro. That's so fucking funny. This shit is so funny. Hey, I'm crying. I don't give a fuck. I'll give to my own Patreon site because this shit is funny as hell. All right, y'all. Hey, I'm sorry. We at halftime. Are we gonna take a random commercial break? We don't know what's gonna happen. When we get back, we're gonna play Film Degrees of Separation. But before we do that, Mark, oh God, can you please set us up with the joke we're gonna see on this next clip, please?
I love Black History Month, but I mainly love Black History Month because that's when Black actors get to do the most commercial work, especially growing up in the 90s and 2000s. This is what our commercial is like.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and run that.
The funniest thing on TV right now is the commercials. Like the Black History commercials, especially Black History Month. Burger King got the best ones. They always got the African drums, got Avery Brooks or some deep voice brother doing like the voiceover. Boom, boom, boom. This Black History Month. Come to Burger King, where you can get your civil rights extra value meal. That's right, you can get your Martin Luther King size fry and your Malcolm extra large. Your ancestors couldn't have it their way, but you can. McDonald's got pro-black commercials now. They got Poets Make commercials, big Afrocentric commercials. You seen the Afrocentric Chicken Select commercials? Because you've seen like the regular ones, always somebody like, stay away from my Chicken Select. Now they got one with like a dark-skinned woman with twists in her hair, can't take cloth on, sitting by herself like, we are a strong African nation, but we still can't have none of my Chicken Select. You are a king and you are a queen. As long as you stay away from my Chicken Select. When I get my reparations from the government, I'll get me some Chicken Select.
So the movie starts out, there's this guy and this girl, and they're like, let's go swimming. And the girl's like, I'm going to go skinny dipping because I want to get wet, and now my clothes wet. And she's in the water, and all of a sudden she's like, oh, she's getting whipped around every which way. She's like, this isn't great. I'm not having a good time. And they find her body the next day. She's dead. And there's like, yo, this is a shark attack. And then the mayor's like, no, but the economy, we can't change anything. Those aren't shark bites. Those are boat bites. But then there's like, it isn't, though. And he's like, no, keep swimming. It's fine. We've never had a pandemic before. And then, so they're fine. Everything's open. But then someone else dies, and like, it might be an actual shark. And then they're like, oh, we need to shut it down. And he's like, no, we're going to put a bounty. And then they find a different shark, and they're like, that's not the shark. They're like, yeah, but it's a shark. So he killed it, mission accomplished, put up the banner. And then there's like, no. And then some more people are dying. They're like, oh, we got to get it. So this guy, Sequest DSV captain guy, he's like, I'm going to take some friends, and we're going to go on a boat, and we're going to figure this out. So they go out there, and they try to trap the shark, but the shark's like, I'm too smart for you. And they go, he attacks the boat, and then the boat's like sinking. They're like, but we got to put this guy in a shark-proof tank that's not a shark-proof tank. And he goes down there, and he's like, oh, it's got weird. And then the other guy who's like, oh, I got a knife, and and then he gets chomped by the shark, and the shark, he's like, I'm not going to even stab it because the Universal Studios needs this later. And then Sequest DSV guy, there's a tank in the shark's mouth while he's dying, and then he shoots it, and boom, and then he's dead. And that's why I don't like to go into the water ever.
Brian, let me tell you, this is why. Okay, look. I'm sorry. Y'all can't hear what we hear. I love David to death. He in our ear cussing so loud. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody gonna be watching this by the end. All right. Oh shit. Okay. Luke, I love him.
It hurts so much.
It's so funny. I'm sorry, y'all. This shit is so funny. This is actually this is a comedy show. This is what it's about. Luke, y'all gotta check out his show. It's also on Big Laughs. He's fucking hilarious. Wait, what? With Luke Severai. I love Jaws because no black people got eaten in Jaws, so that's one of my favorite movies. Mark, I really love that you do a lot of pro-black stuff in your clips because I love seeing and hearing black people talk about black things. So we are going to go into one of my favorite segments and yours too, Film Degrees of Separation. Can you go ahead and pull that up for us, please? All right. So yeah, Film Degrees of Separation, as you all should pretty much know by now, people have to be connected by the roles. You can only use actors and directors, no TV show connections, and to get points, you get 1 point per correct answer and 5 points if you are first, based off of the first correct answer. And then you get 3 extra points if you make the connection in fewer than the film's asked. Like if I ask connect Bradley Cooper and Eddie Murphy in under 3 films or less, you would say Bradley Cooper was in A Star is Born with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was in The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy. And as you all know, for the month of July, the winner will be announced on the next episode of Monday Night Tops. They are going to get a $75 cash. It's going to be a gift card because I'm not touching money. Can you go ahead and play the on the next slide? Awesome. So the question is, connect James Franco and Denzel Washington in 3 films or less. Again, that's connect James Franco and Denzel Washington in 3 films or less. 10 minutes starting now. I'm telling y'all, this shit is so funny. Okay, so for your last pick, Mark, and first again, thank you again for being on this show. This has been fantastic. It's been funny as hell. I'm having a blast. So for your last pick, you chose The Thing. Can you tell us why, Mark, please?
Oh my God, John Carpenter's The Thing is the scariest movie of all time. It's basically like these aliens that form together as like a group to create like a simulation of a person. So they'll like kill you. And then like all of the aliens will come together as a team to make a fake you, which is way scarier than like normal shape-shifting aliens. Cause like if I like touch your shoulder, then the shoulder might bite my finger off or some crazy shit like that, right? So it's the most frightening, and it was old school, so there's no CGI. It's all like claymation monsters. So it just looks so gross and real. It's the scary. I can't even be funny. It scares me so much to this day. I can't even think about it.
And the good thing is, as far as we know, the black man lived into the end, so it wasn't that scary for us. All right, so tell us this though.
Lived to the whole movie.
The whole movie. It was black when it started, and then when the curtains went off, it was still black. He was still there. All right, so can you tell us you kind of already addressed it. What's the craziest part of The Thing?
The craziest part is there's a scene where they're like going around trying to figure out who the alien is. And the alien, and like one of the dudes has a heart attack. So they got him on the table and they're about to like shock him with the paddles. And it's actually the alien, and his torso opens up and like lops off the dude's hands. And it's just ridiculous. And what's also scary is the dude who does the diabetes commercials is actually like the hardest motherfucker in the whole film. And so he's just like beating people up in the opening and shit. It's the craziest movie I've ever seen.
Hey, this is the best part. Now, time out. Chad. It's the Chad show. Go ahead.
The diabetes? The diabetes.
Y'all so ignorant.
The ghost of Wilford Brimley is just so sad right now. It's like I've had all these credits and I'm just reduced to the diabetes man. It's like the only legacy of this man is don't drink sweet tea anymore. That's what it is.
I'm a black man. The diabetes sticks with me. I immediately relate to that. Like,
the sad thing is, I get it, but we got a lot of people who ain't of the right hue, Mark. So I'll bring on Chad because every so often I'll fuck up the Queen's English too, and then Chad got to take over, and this becomes the Chad hour. Chad, do you have anything else for us?
I can't breathe, man. I'm just so. I'm like,
the diabetes.
I know the diabetes didn't get me, but the asthma is taking hold in this show.
Hey, this shit is so fun. We ain't gonna have nobody watching this goddamn show. This is like this is one of the biggest credits I done got on this show. And we just acting a goddamn fool.
I'm sweating so much, man.
Oh man, this is so fun. All right, Chad, can you set us up with Rachel's clip? Set us up with their clip, please.
We got Rachael Elizabeth, and they're going to explain. I don't know, but describing The Thing with an accent makes pretty much anything sound like Masterpiece Theater.
Hey, I'm Rachel, and I am going to be talking about a scene from The Thing. The Thing is a, really good 80s special effects creature feature. Like, it's garbage, but it's hot garbage. So, anyway, when humans bleed, it's just blood. It's tissue. It's not going to do anything. But when The Thing bleeds, each cell is ready to fight back. So he's like, I'll just burn some blood and we'll know who the Thing is. Which, science. So he's tying people to chairs and like drawing blood from them. Quite a lot of blood as well. I think more than really necessary, because if it's every cell, you don't need to like fill a whole tub of it, but they do anyway, so there's that. And like people aren't happy about it. But McCready's like, I'll kill all of you anyways. I don't care. We're gonna find out who the thing is. And they're like, alright, fine, tie us up, take our blood. So he does like the first 3. And he does his own, because, you know, we love a aware king. And this guy Gary's just like, this is not working. This is ridiculous. Why are we doing this? And McCready's like, fuck you, Gary. No one asked you. But obviously McCready takes that as like, that guy's probably the thing. Which you would think, but no. He does the next sample, and this guy just explodes. Like, it's wild. He eats another guy's head. It's pretty intense. But at the same time, I think the thing is still important for our modern society. Especially with the COVID stuff, because I would be going full McCready. Like, my dad comes home from the shop and he coughs, and I'm like, time to tie you to a chair and set you on fire. And he's like, Rachel, I have asthma. But, you know, you can't trust anyone. And I relate to McCready a lot. I think he was on the right track.
He signs off the same way each and every time. I think the people at home need to know why we so goddamn weak. All right. See, the thing about movie magic or TV magic is I know you all can hear everything that's happening. This is a beautiful show in your TV land. We can't hear shit that's going on over here. So to us, Rachel just got on these big ass floppy ears and just keeps moving. And it was like a 3-minute scene. So we had no volume. All we had was it's the funniest shit ever. Rachel, I love you. It was their birthday last week. And Baby Yoda is like the best group ever. All right.
But in my heart, it's just like Yoda has been stuck on Dagobah forever, and just like I done seen some shit. Like
Yoda like, going through it.
I'm so over Luke trying to raise this broke ass X-wing out this water.
And I love it. And Yoda's like is old but like progressive. So Yoda's over there like smoking a CBD cartridge. Just
like
tired am I.
I mean, like just tired am I. Bang your sister. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
I guess it's the 70s, 2000s. It's all the same. All right. Mark, this is the thing. All right. So as we could tell, Rachel had a blanket on that looked like Baby Yoda ears. So Mark, what is your favorite Star Wars movie, and why should The Mandalorian never stop making episodes? Go.
My favorite Star Wars movie is still Empire. It's still Empire because it's the best written one. You know, I don't know. That's not even funny. That's just facts. Like it's the best written one. And Mandalorian is dope. You know what it is? They got George Lucas out of there. He's not writing them anymore. So it's like now that people are writing them, keep writing Star Wars shit like forever and ever and ever. You got the worst writer off the team, so it's all good.
No, I feel you, brother. But yeah, okay. So we're gonna go ahead into our next one. Chad, can you do us a favor and can you set us up with the audience's last pick? David's clip, please.
Last pick. All right, we're going into Child's Play as the last pick, and David. Basically, with what he explains, we just known that had he been a fast food franchise, Chucky would have slayed in the 90s, man.
What's up, guys? My name's David, and the movie that scared me as a kid was Child's Play, that one with the killer doll. And after it finally stopped showing up on commercials and stopped terrorizing me, I was outside playing one day in the backyard, and I saw a newspaper with movie advertisements in the back, and this is what I was greeted with. Anyway, I'd love it if you followed me on
Twitter or Instagram at DJD666. Thank you so much.
And he's calling up the devil, man.
Yes, he is. He is doing his own spell as they did in the original. Fuck the new Child's Play. Yes, thank you, David, and please follow him on everything. All right, so Mark, what is the craziest scene in the original Child's Play movie? Go.
The craziest scene in the original Child's Play movie is when they go kill, when Chucky goes to kill his old partner when he was alive. He goes to that dude's house. See, all of the 80s movies, you have to understand, were about black criminals and white criminals teaming up and committing crimes. 48 hours, Child's Play, you know what I mean? There's always a white criminal and a black criminal making it work somehow. It always stuck with me as a kid. Never do crimes with white people.
I don't know if y'all heard David, but David cracking up too. David's the guy that's playing all of my videos. I got him playing them backwards because fuck it. It's like the 80s. Just like we got black and white crime going on right here. It's me and Chad. Hey, should we go say Chad?
What about Child's Play?
Yes.
Oh, the craziest thing about Child's Play was the fact that the doll had more emotions expressed than the kid did. They needed to put more motors in the kid's face. I don't know what happened, but the doll had way more range than the kid did.
Well, I don't know why kids normally suck in all movies. Because if kids are good in movies, they end up like the kid in Sixth Sense, or they end up like Jodie Foster, and they're just messed up for the rest of their life. But they get an Oscar though. All right, so Chad, can you please set us up with Jess's clip?
Oh, we got Jess ready, man. She always brings the heat on this. In this clip, the only thing I took away from it was it would be terrifying to be attacked by yarn.
Before we begin, this is my light, but it's also a fireplace. Okay, good. Talk to me. Talk to me, damn it. Talk. All right. I'll make you talk. Nah, you stupid bitch! Ah! Damn. And so on and so forth. So, not Chucky, not a fireplace. Yes, Michael Jordan. So, this is my issue with the Chucky franchise, is that he's a doll. I know he's bigger than this, obviously. But I'm 5'2". I am not a tall person. I have known that all my life. But if something even the size of this were to come at me, you punt it. Like so. You don't let it terrorize your house, you don't let it bite you, and you certainly don't let it call you a slut. I'm not gonna tolerate any slut shaming from a stupid serial killer doll. Thanks.
Yo, between Rachael and Jess and them giving those last minute flash smiles, that's like 80s, so 80s, 90s. I love every second of it. All right, so Mark, okay. If they made a Baby Yoda horror movie, who should star in it? Go.
I don't know if people will get this reference, but Michelle A. I just feel like her voice is like the scary. Her actual speaking voice is just would be perfect.
You're talking about from Death Row?
Yeah. See, that's too nuanced of a reference. I gotta think of somebody else. Hold up. Just her opposite Baby Yoda is perfect. changed it, and she's underutilized.
Bro, so there's so many people out there that don't even know Snoop Dogg used to be with Master P, let alone know what a fucking death row is. So we don't need they were like, I thought we were abolishing the police. I thought he talked about abolishing. All right, man, you so ignorant. I'm sick of this. All right, look, okay. Look, the game's over. As we all right, the game's goddamn over. No more answers. I ain't taking no more goddamn answers. I'm sick of everybody today. I'm mostly sick of myself because I did this to me. But yeah, after this point, if you keep answering, you're just doing it to see your own words on screen, which is cool. Now it is time for my favorite part. Well, technically, this whole night has been my favorite part, but this is like my second favorite part. I call it Dubs and Trumaines. Dubs and Trays. I'm telling you, that's going to be on a t-shirt one day. So if the guest gets this question right, everyone who answered the question tonight is going to get double the points. They're going to get dubs. You're going to get double the points. All right. So, but if the co-host and the guest get the answer right, then everybody's going to get Trumaine. You're going to get triple the points. All right. So one more time, the question for tonight is connect James Franco and Denzel Washington in either 3 films or less. So we're going to go ahead and start with you, Mark. All right. It's all up to you because these people are trying to get $75 and a gift card because I'm not touching money because fuck the Rona. All right. So you have 30 seconds. Connect James Franco and Denzel Washington in under 3 films or less. Go.
All right, so James Franco.
Mm-hmm.
James Franco was in This Is the End.
You're right. True that.
Which had, God damn it.
That's true.
I feel like this is easier than I'm making it. This Is the End, which had Kevin Hart in it.
That's
Kevin
true.
Hart was in
20 seconds.
Kevin Hart was in damn.
Yep. It's 10. This
Ride
is tough.
Along.
He wasn't Ride Along. That's 2 movies though. Wait. No, that's one.
That's 2 movies. I fucked up. Oh man.
Yep. Hey, that's it, brother. It's all good. But this is what I'm gonna tell you. On this show, every day is Juneteenth. So even when you black, when you do something wrong, you still right, brother. You still right. Every day is Juneteenth. Chad, it's up to you. Everybody's trying to get this $75. So can you do for us in under 30 seconds? Connect James Franco and Denzel Washington in 3 films or less. Go.
I already got it with the middle can be quite a few films. I think he starred with this actress in multiple things, but what I thought of was Denzel Washington in The Book of Eli with Mila Kunis.
Mm-hmm.
Mila Kunis in Date Night with James Franco.
Damn, that was 2. All right, that was 2 films. Okay, well, hey, that was right. Everybody
started with Denzel. That makes so much sense.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and do just because I'm feeling good today. All right, since I said every day is Juneteenth. And when you black, you never wrong, you always right. Everybody who answered is getting Trumaine, okay? You getting Trumaine. On top of the fact, Mark, you try to use all black people to connect the movies. I feel even better about it, brother.
Wait, are we gonna just like glance over the fact that you named the biggest payout, the biggest prize tier after yourself?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You want to know why? Because it's called Monday Night Tops with Trumaine Bradley. Don't you fuck with me, Chad. Hey, you know what? You got a black shirt on, so you an ally. Thank you so much, Chad. I would not have it any other way. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go have y'all plug. We're gonna go into the monologue, and then we're gonna do some extra scenes. But before we do that, Mark, let's go into this 2-shot. Do you have anything to plug for us? Like, where can we find you? Where can we get yourself? Where can we watch you? You've done a lot of things.
I mean, right now, man, I am raising my children and preparing for the apocalypse, which is any day now. So follow me on Facebook, Mark James Heath on Facebook. I'll be, talking shit about the impending doom, which is our country currently. Yeah. And yeah, man. Also follow me on Cash App and Venmo. It's Mark James Heath on both of those. Yeah.
I love your name because you kind of like me, where your parents was like, by any means necessary, you will get a job. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mark, for being with us tonight. Let me go to my co-host, my partner in crime. It's always good to have you here, Chad.
Always.
Plug us. What you got?
I'm here with you every Monday until the virus goes away, until people start wearing masks, until people start getting healthy, until people start taking care of each other and themselves. I'm here with you every Monday. I want to get back to doing stand-up, but until then, it's you and me, man.
Hey, I already got it, baby. You in that black shirt. I told you it's Juneteenth. Every day we do Monday Night Tops. But hey, Chad, I appreciate you, but I'm done with my better half and I'm done with Mark. So I'm gonna need you to go into that one shot because we made it to the end. And then we're going to go do a few more scenes. Why? Because I love talking shit with y'all. And we got this whole setup has been possessed. And this is like a beautiful thing that y'all are here for. Thank you all for showing up for True's Blackout Report. All right. So we talked about a lot of movies that scarred each and every one of us. All right. If you grew up in the 90s or the 2000s, hell, even the 80s, film and television, 9 times out of 10, scarred the shit out of us. Because your parents didn't understand the TV ratings, okay? No matter what it is you were watching, 9 times out of 10, your parents just didn't understand. And that just really leaves us with my picks. All right. For my first pick, I went with the one that we all did today, Child's Play. Child's Play scarred me because it was the first time as a kid where the movie title really didn't describe the movie. There were no children playing. In fact, there was just death and crying. Actually, now that I think about it, my parents bought me the black version of a My Buddy doll. I swear to God, this was a thing. My parents bought me the black version of a My Buddy doll, but it was called My N-Word. No, I promise you, it was literally called My N-Word. Not because they were progressive, but because it was the 90s. And the other name was already copywritten. Okay. All right. For my next pick, the movie that scarred me is actually one we haven't brought up tonight. We brought it up on another show, but it's very important. I need to bring it up tonight. Home Alone. Home Alone scarred me as a kid because in the movie, he was left by his parents, but Kevin McAllister, had a lot of fun. Not me. When I got left at home, there was no fun. There was just homework and cable TV. No Playboy. Just HBO. That means very watered down porno. Okay. So another movie that scarred me as a kid was Nightmare on Elm Street. Because Freddy would come into your home and kill you in your sleep. And not even anybody can do anything. Even though people knew, nobody can stop him. So Freddy Krueger's name should have been changed to the Police. 1, 2, 911 is shooting you.
Come on, play.
3, 4, already kicked your door. 9, 10, whatever sticks. I don't know. We're gonna just skip some numbers. Why? Because we all know how the police go. Another movie that scarred me as a kid was Alien. Because in this movie, monsters will cover your face and then leave something weird in your stomach. This movie is exactly like my ex-partner because no matter how sexy it sounds, at the end there is only horror and Plan B. The new tagline should be, in space, no one can hear you scream, especially if you got alien dick in your throat. Consentfully, of course, consentfully. All in all, these movies obviously did a number on us, whether you Black, white, Puerto Rican, or Asian, or other, whatever you identify as, we've all been scarred, and we're all going to continue to be scarred. Why? Because when you have kids, even if you put child protection on your computer or on your television, they still have their phone, and Jimmy down the street has none. So that's all I gotta say about that. Thank you again for showing up to Monday Night Tops. Again, this show that you all control with all the topics that you all pick. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Be able to go ahead and watch us, follow us on Big Laughs Comedy, watch all the other shows. Please don't be problematic. Y'all use condoms. I've been Trumaine Bradley. Good night.